Kurt Papke coming to you from Oro Valley, Arizona, which is just northwest of Tucson, Arizona. And behind me are the Santa Catalina Mountains, in particular the Coronado National Forest. And what we'll be talking about today is a backpacking trip up Romero Canyon, which is the cleft or opening in the mountains behind me. So that canyon is a fault line that runs through the Santa Catalina Mountains. And there's a fantastic trail on that canyon. It's very well known here in southern Arizona. The Romero Pools trail is extremely popular among people, and most people don't go past the pools. But if you go just a little bit past the pools, there's some tremendous campsites that have trees, shade, and water. Very reliable source of water, which is a rarity here in the Sonoran Desert. So today, the Romero Canyon Trail to high camp and what I call old camp up in the Santa Catalina Mountains northwest of Tucson, Arizona.
The trailhead for the Romero Canyon Trail is located in Catalina State Park in Oro Valley, Arizona. So drive up Oracle Road until you come to the Oro Valley Marketplace and make a right into the road there at the stoplight, and you'll see the sign ahead for Catalina State Park. Once you've entered the park, drive to the entrance gate and purchase an overnight parking permit for $5. The volunteers that man the gate there don't do this very often, so you'll need a little bit of patience with them, and they might need to even call the ranger to get instructions as to how to write out the overnight parking permit for you. Once you've successfully purchased your overnight parking permit, drive to the end of the road, and you'll find a good-sized parking lot there, and pick a spot, hopefully shady, where you park your car, and then cross the street to the main trailhead entrance. And from there you'll head due east straight up the trail. This is the topography of the Romero Canyon Trail. It starts out fairly flat for about a half mile or so, and then climbs relentlessly until you get up into the mountains. And then after that, the trail follows about midway between the top and the bottom of the canyon as it winds its way up. The first campsite is at about the 3-mile mark, the second campsite at the 5-mile mark, and the final campsite is at the 6-mile mark on the trail. After climbing for about 45 minutes, you'll top out on a ridge, which is really an ideal spot to take a little rest and a drink of water and look back and reflect on the beautiful view of Oro Valley you have in front of you, with the Tortolita Mountains on the right and the Silver Bells off in the distance and the beginnings of the Tucson Mountains off to the left. Looking up trail from the ridgetop, the canyon views become really beautiful as you're looking up the expanse of the Romero Canyon.
Right, this is the famous Romero Pools, and the topography has changed quite a bit with the rains of the last year. It opened this up quite a bit. This is 2.5 miles into the hike, and you can see where the fellow is coming down the trail there in the blue shirt. That's where the trail continues on past the pools towards the campsites in Romero Canyon. This is a very popular spot. Most people turn around right here and go no further.
This is the first campsite after Romero Pools. I've never actually spent the night here. It's literally a 2-minute walk after you cross out of the pools. This obviously is a campfire area, and the primary campsite seems to be right over in between these trees over here. You could probably even string up a hammock between the two. But nice little spot. Not too bad of access to water. This is where the Romero Canyon Trail cuts through right here. And then water access is a bit of a scramble right down there. So this is a great spot to take a break. It's about a 5-minute walk past the first campsite, or maybe 7 or 8 minutes after Romero Pools. So there's a nice expanse of rock here, and really great access to water. So this is a great spot to stop and replenish your water supplies.
So when hiking up here in Romero Canyon, I rarely take more than about 2 liters, even on a pretty hot day, as long as the water is running, because I'll just replenish my supplies right at this spot right here. The water is nice and cool, as opposed to the water that's been in your pack for 2 hours and is 90 degrees. So this is it. Great break spot here. There's even a nice spot here, a little bit of a rock ledge where you can sit and take your pack off and rest your feet for a little while. So after covering about 5 miles in almost exactly 2.5 hours, the Romero Pools were our halfway point. Romero Pools are 2.5 miles from the trailhead, and Old Camp here is about 5 miles from the trailhead, and we're descending down into the camping area. This is probably the nicest campsite along the Romero Trail, largest campsite. It's in a beautiful oak grove here. These are all oak trees, and in fact I stayed here once in the fall, and it was windy and the acorns fell on me all night long. And there's a nice fire pit here. I've never built a fire, but also there's a really nice little stone chair here, which I actually do use all the time. And then on the far side over there, the trail continues on up into the next campsite, which is about a mile up the trail. So I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to prep some water. The water is conveniently located in this little stream right behind the campsite, and we can walk right down here, and it's very scenic, very pretty spot, and water here is pretty reliable. I've never really had any issues. So these are metates, or grinding areas where the Indians would grind the acorns. You can imagine it's a beautiful spot to sit on a fall day. A nice short little 5-mile walk up the mountain to gather the acorns up off the ground, and then just sit here and grind them into acorn flour to make pancakes out of, or whatever they made. So I'm going to park right down here and purify some water out of the stream here. Okay, coming into what I call high camp. I don't know what the real name is, but I call it that because it's higher than Old Camp. And this is where I really like to spend the night. It's a combination oak grove and ponderosa pine. Got enough elevation here that the ponderosa pines do grow. And like Old Camp, it's got a fireplace and a chair. Quite a bit smaller than Old Camp, but I like it because of the easy access to water right here. You can see this is a little flume that runs right behind the camp, and a nice little pond to draw water from to drink. And here's the big ponderosa pine that I tie my hammock up to. And you really cannot beat the views from this place. So the water runs down the rocks down there, down into the pool, which is, it's actually looks pretty deep. I've never actually swam in it, but one of these days I'll come up here when it's warm enough and actually go for a little swim. And looking down canyon there, you can see Ragged Top and the Silver Bells off in the distance. And that's about all you can see out of the canyon. Other than that, it's pretty well wrapped up in here. So this is high camp, and this is where I'll be spending the night. It's the last real camp on the Romero Canyon Trail. After this, there's a couple spots where you could camp, particularly with a hammock, but right after here it gets really rocky as it goes up to Romero Pass. So this is the campsite.
So this is a little panorama showing how I have my campsite set up. I string up my hammock between a couple of the pines there with a really nice view and next to the gurgling sound of the river. And then the fire pit is over on the left-hand side. The pine trees provide a nice place to hang up packs and hats and clothes and stuff, and then there's a nice little chair there that provides a nice cooking area for the campsite. But that's how I roll.